Good morning guys, how are you? It's early in the morning. I am in Scotland. I'm on my travel week this week, once a month, where I go around and see different places. I am in a hire car and I am driving from here, roughly near Edinburgh, up to Inverness this morning to pick up my friend Zach, to go see my friend Jim, and then to go and stay with the Daffies guys. And it's going to be a great week. I'm going to get on the road. I'll tell you more when we get there because it's bloody freezing up here this week.
Gone, you're with me, then gone, then gone. You're with me, then.
Alright, this is Zach.
Hello everyone.
If you haven't seen his Instagram, you should go check it out. He makes these wicked little shorts, runs a video company. We're going to get some footage over the next few days as we go about learning what we can learn from up here. Zach was round at Brenda's last week and I must say, is it fair to say I surprised you with the skills?
Oh yeah, it fully surprised me. And because I was like, I've got to go now, and you're like, not till we make this bread.
Not till we make this bread. Anyway, the first stop today is we are going off to a castle to see my friend Jim. He was actually the first big customer I ever had in my first business. And then he was the link to Newcastle, which is why Givey ended up being based out of Newcastle. And now he's taken a turn, much like I have, to be back connected with nature as much as possible. Well, we'll go and let him tell us about it, but I think he's figured out some cunning plan to revive forestry in the UK. 50 minutes, all right, let's go.
Then gone.
This is apparently the Ercles estate.
Then gone.
Hello. Off he goes. And off we should go. So this is my old friend and colleague Jim, who was a technology man and is now doing something quite different, which is a familiar feeling. What are we going to go see?
We're going to go and see some birch trees.
Yep.
And we're going to have a look at putting some taps in them to make some birch syrup.
And I know silver birch, so
Yep.
Are we talking silver birch or is there another birch?
There are some silver birch in here.
Yeah.
But there's also downy birch.
Tell them what you just told me, the record you set.
The Munros, which are Scottish mountains over 3,000 feet.
Yeah.
And there's a record for how many you can climb in 24 hours. I did 30 of these mountains in 22 hours and 5 minutes.
Which is how many miles?
88.6 miles.
Okay, just think about that, guys. That's more than 3 marathons in 24 hours up and down mountains.
The trees haven't woken up yet. We get 3 weeks a year when we can tap the trees.
Okay.
And during those 3 weeks, they'll produce quite a lot of sap.
What does that mean you can tap them?
And so
I guess we'll see, will we?
We drill a small hole into them, and then we use a network of pipe to bring it down to the bottom for us.
Right, so this blue pipe here is taking us up to where the trees are.
There's some evidence here of past tapping. They've drilled multiple holes.
Okay.
Imagine they're all weeping, they'll all be running sap down here.
Okay.
And this just acts as a little funnel to put it into a bucket that will be tied onto the tree.
So, I mean, if you took all my blood out of me,
yep.
I wouldn't run very well.
No.
Do these die if you take all the sap out of them?
Well, if you over tap them, you could do damage. We will put something that size, we'll put one single tap in it. We'll take roughly 5% of the sap that it's producing.
Oh, it's like giving blood?
Yeah, exactly. They're not going to notice, it's not going to do them any harm. They'll be perfectly healthy.
You're with me, then gone, then gone.
Your first job, Dave?
This stuff is for me to go give it a go back at Brenda's cottage.
You're going to put the taps in about this height. Okay, this is food grade pipe work. You'll need a tap. Okay, that's going to go into the tree, that bit.
Okay.
The other bit we're going to put into the pipe. It does take quite a bit of force. There you go, it's gone.
Okay, yeah. So why are you giving me 5?
So if you can find 5 birch trees in your woods, so you've got plenty of birch trees.
Oh yeah, plenty.
You'll find that with 5, you'll get quite a bit of sap during a day.
Okay, nice one.
Your trees are probably already awake. You need to get on with this as soon as you get back.
Okay, I'll do it next week. If all goes to plan, a bottle of Jim's finest will be arriving down at where we're going to stay this week. And then we'll be able to try and concoct something. And then, if it all goes to plan, when we go back to Brenda's, I'll be able to try and do a DIY makeshift version of a beautiful bottle of something when we get there.
What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, exactly. Last year, Jim made a couple 100 bottles from his company, North Pennine Birch Syrup. Later this week, I'll put the link in below. He's going to start taking pre-orders for their next set.
Once we get the sap, we'll process it the next day and it comes to syrup.
And can you tap the same tree each year, or do you have to leave it a year or two?
Yeah, just don't tap too close together.
I mean, the weather could not be better. This is gorgeous.
Stunning up here.
We are loving it. Sort of like that much?
That bit will do you.
Okay, cool.
If you just listen. Hear that change?
Oh yeah, it's gone hard.
That's it.
I'm going to see if I can remember my training. I'm thinking about here.
A little bit lower.
There?
Go on, down again. Yeah, that's a nice clean bit. Push it in first, push it with your hand. Yeah, okay, and then just gently tap it. And wait for the hammer to bounce.
And so you think that these trees will wake up in like a week or two?
We think they'll be maybe a little bit longer. So last year down in North Pennines, where we have another plantation, they started to wake up on the 28th of February.
Can we leave this one in for you?
Leave that in, we'll connect that up.
We're like in another world now. Look at this little stream running down there.
It's not a bad office, is it?
It's not a bad office, the natural office. I'm coming down. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. That was close. Whoa! You haven't really arrived in a place until you get into it, or it gets into you. That is absolutely gorgeous.
Caught in what's real and what's not. Skyscraper towering us.
See you later, buddy.
What do we learn when we're lost? Give me a piece of this. Bright eye with the rhythm of him. Skyline and horizon, please. We'll find out, finding our own skin. Give me a piece of this. Hold fast while we dive right in.
We have arrived, but we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get straight up on the hill. I'm jumping in Chris's car. We're going to go. That's the house down there.
We'll find out, finding our own skin.
Hey, how are you doing? It's cold up here, but you like it, don't you? Zach looks amazing. I don't know how he's doing this. The moon is fully out. The sun is still gloriously setting. My life is definitely almost over, but I'm a happy man. I'll tell you guys what's going on tomorrow. A little bit of snow coming down. I haven't really explained what I'm doing here. So we are at a friend's house called Chris and Minnie. They run an amazing gin brand called Daffy's. We had a great discussion over dinner yesterday about the art of foraging and the fact that in our DNA we are still hunter-gatherer foragers. It's only been 10,000 years of this agricultural experiment, and it takes 25,000 years for DNA to update itself. So still we're very much foragers by heart. So these guys are very much on the same page as me in terms of being based in nature. I mean, look at this unbelievable mountain range they have here. Wanting to live simply, wanting to live from the ground, wanting to be creative. If you didn't see the video when I was in Spain, then go have a look at that. Next month, I'll be in a castle in France, and here we're gonna go look at Bothy's, which I can't wait for. You know, I've been looking at the Bothy Bible because I really love the underpinning philosophy there. We're gonna go hunting for waterfalls, which is my favorite thing. That's what I did when I went to the Costa Rica rainforest. And whilst we're doing that, we're gonna try and forage for some botanicals to put in the gin that we're gonna make. I mean, what more could I ask for? It's gonna be a great week. Better get down there, I think I'm late.
Got to, but you leave me with
A few things to update you on before we get going today. Firstly, if you go now to the Corcovado Slack group, any existing member in the Slack group can now add you, which means it's much easier for people to join. And the point of the Slack groups kind of changed. Instead of thinking about work groups and what projects are we going to do, I just realized the main thing that we need to do is be connecting, to be meeting in coffee shops, to be getting together, then seeing what creativity emerges. I am relaunching the Patreon. Last year we just did an experiment where I asked for 100 people to support the creation of the handbook. So it was a very small, isolated event. This time, what I'm hoping for is that whoever wants to get involved will just support the process, and so we can have any number of people on the Patreon. I'm hoping that we'll get at least a few hundred on there, and we will figure out the different rewards together as we go along, because it is a process. It's not a transaction where I say, you can get this, so please give me your money, which is like a normal consumer transaction. This is about saying, guys, let's go on a journey together. There's plenty more to say, but my arm's too tired. Let's go. They're beautiful. Hello, guys. We've been looking at the big, beautiful house, but this is what I'm talking about.
You've taken and given.
Oh, yes. Look at that. Oh, it's so good. I love it in here.
Isn't it cool?
And then just through here. Oh, yeah. No, let's just go straight out on the mountain. But we went up that bit over there, didn't we?
Yep.
Right up there, guys. This is the mother of all cooking stations. That is very cool. We just made some lights last week in my place. Not as good as that. We basically got a pub. You got a bar legitimately in your house. There's no need to go anywhere, is there? Man, if you get have you been snowed in yet?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the best place in the world to be snowed in on. I mean, you could have everything. We've got freezers full of stuff. You got the foraging, you got the gin. We're off, but I'm going to take a couple of little boiled eggs for the road.
The cycle of waiting and want.
Whoa! We are officially on the Both for the first time in my life. Kiss the lucky egg, man! Kiss the lucky egg!
Count 24.
This is where the lock is freezing right on the edge there, and Chris is saying if it gets a bit better, they can curl on it and do all sorts of shenanigans. Oh, this is 10 out of 10 stuff, man. We are literally only 4 or 5 minutes away from the house, and we are at the Spey Wheel. But look, the waves have kind of got frozen into the lock. Can I just steal all your nice, beautiful things, Jack? Because I'll give you a little Google folder. Thank you, man.
You're with me, then bound, then bound.
He's on.
Oh, how do we know?
I'm going to slide my way on with my lucky egg. This does feel quite solid here. Shut the front door. Get off, Zach.
Give me a piece of this. Bright eye with
Look at you, are majestic.
He's handsome.
That is a handsome chap. Oh yeah, you love it, mate. You absolutely love it. These are not the same roe deer that I have in my woods.
You get 3 types of deer on here. You get red deer,
Red deer,
roe deer, and sika deer.
roe deer, and sika deer.
85–90% of all deer that you'd see would be red deer.
In Scotland, there is a very unique way of thinking about land. Even though this may be private land, or maybe National Trust land, you have the right to roam, which means as long as you don't stop, as long as you're just passing through, you can go and see things, which is amazing actually. I don't know what it's like in your country, but I like it. I like the right to roam. I like that even if it seems private, that it's never fully private. We still recognise that there's a stewardship thing going on underneath it all. You look very mischievous. Ah!
Give me a piece of this. Hold fast while we dive right in.
Oh yes! There, see the Bothy, my first Bothy. Oi oi! On the Both. Oh yes! Oh yes! Stopped only by the river.
How deep is this?
That doesn't look good.
How deep is your love?
Yeah, or potentially dry.
You could just park. Go on, just go. Just see what happens. Just go.
So wrecky at first.
Yes, Zach. Big boy's on top. All right, we're off. He's doing it. Zach's just casually droning.
Our skin. We're putting out a forest fire so we can breathe in. Start again. We're shedding our skin. We're putting out a forest fire so we can breathe in. Start again.
Welcome to the wild. You can't get this in England. Scotland. You can take my life, but you'll never take my freedom. To the Bothy. The idea of Bothies, as I've read and learned about, is that they are open spaces where hikers can come. You bring your sleeping bag and you should leave it as you find it. And this is the first time I'm going through the door. Ah.
Welcome to the Bothy!
Mate, that is a luxury Bothy. Look at that leather sofa. I thought it was meant to be like basic, not like creme de la fraiche.
It gets worse.
I mean, look at this suite. I could take this back to Brenda's. Oh, mate, that Arga looks extremely familiar.
Brenda's second home. Ready-made beds and all?
No. And not bad mattresses, though. Like, if I was out in the middle of nowhere and I found this Bothy and I had a mattress like this, I'd be dead chuffed. Okay, that looks a bit crapper. That's kind of what I might have imagined. But that looks all right. You ain't getting a vacuum cleaner up here. We're in the middle of nowhere. Did you know what we were coming to?
I thought it would be like less of a house.
You get some proper VIP ones that are slick, and then you get this is quite average. I think.
Thought there might be a pile of sticks or something ready.
Bit of whiskey sometimes left.
Yeah.
Some first aid, bivvy bag.
I've got something to learn from these guys about hospitality, because when people come to Brenda's, I just sort of say, you know where the tea is, but these guys have got it going on. We've bought the golden goose, mate.
Golden goose.
Where?
Look at it.
You didn't find that in the Bothy.
Oh, no.
That came from HQ, didn't it? If you draw an axis of quality and quantity of food along here, and then you draw an axis of how far away we are from civilization here, I don't think I'll ever have a more wonderful and luxurious picnic in the whole of my life. This is incredible. Scottish vegetable broth and a cake that Minnie just whipped up this morning. You know, as you might expect, it's gin and tonic time, so I'm going to go get myself an ice cube. Okay, in she goes.
Lovely the good stuff.
So if you tilt it, it keeps all the fizz. Cheers! And cheers to you guys. So these, I've just been told, are the Sika deer. So we've seen red deer, and I know roe deer, and these are Sika deer. They're gorgeous, very dark with a white bushy tail. They're all just chilling in the trees thinking, who are these nutters? Single house hamlet of Melgarve, but with a cheeky little bothy up here on the hill. Well, we'll find out whether we're accidentally going in someone's house.
Yeah.
Knock knock. Wow. Oh, this is nice. This is nice. There was a wee dram. There's a bit of coffee. There's some rice. A few basics. Nice cooking setup here.
Clothes rack.
Yeah, and that's important. Toilet. Never use the vicinity of the bothy as a toilet. Go well away from the bothy and from running water. Use the space provided to bury human waste. Take out toilet paper. So this is what I've been reading in the Bothy Bible, and I guess the Bothy Bible, the Bothy toilet, is all about just trying to standardise all of these kinds of ideas and ways to treat each other and the space in a way that ignoramuses like me can understand.
There's a guest book.
The Melgarve Bothy book. Dougal! I love it. I love it. But this feels loved. You know, this really does feel like it's being taken care of, and hikers would love it. And I mean, flipping heck. Well, this is this week. It's a public book, but in a way you earn your right to read it, I think, by coming here. So I won't show you guys. This is a wild land, country of my choice. This is great. This is like a massive hut up here. They've put some serious love into this. These bothies are often sort of donated to the Bothy Network, if you will, by estate owners, and they are managed by volunteers. So nobody strictly sort of owns them or lives in them, but they're just looked after by people like you and me who want to keep them up so other people can enjoy them. And as far as I know, there is nothing that exists like that in England, and it's completely unique to the Scottish or Celtic way, really, because there are some in the valleys in Wales. It's not really a very English thing, it's a wilder thing than that.
Our ghosts can hover.
We're shedding our skin. We're putting out our forest fire so we can breathe in. Start again. We're shedding our skin. We're putting out our forest fire so we can breathe.
Now that was fun. that was living life to the max, full adventure mode. But it's fresh, I can tell you that much for free. Cheeky espresso before we go hunting waterfalls. This video is getting so long, I'm taking the advice. I'm going to split it in 2 halves. I'll see you soon for part 2. Cheers.